Hello and welcome to Deep Dive Film School. I'm Adam Sherlock.
And I'm Adam Pulcher.
And if you like what you see/hear, please like and subscribe. You can find us in all the spaces and places that people what?
Find good media. That's right. Our most popular platforms are Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So you can find us there if you like what you see. You could also follow me at Adam Pulcher at Letterboxd, and then Mr._Sherlock on Letterboxd as well.
That is right.
So join us there if you want to keep up with our movie habits. Okay, let's get into that one scene from 1971's Dirty Harry, the Clint Eastwood movie.
Yes.
This is one, I think this is like a movie my dad loved, you know?
Sure, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, dad's everywhere. Dad's
Totally,
everywhere.
Right? It's a badass kind of Clint Eastwood. Obviously, we know him from the Leone stuff and huge Western, Man with No Name, all of that.
Yep.
And this is kind of in that era, but just Americanized. I guess he's an inspector, right?
Yeah.
Police inspector?
Well, he's a police inspector, and this is really this is the sort of beginning birth of the loose cannon cop, right? Where you've got the commissioner that's, God damn it, and I'll have your badge, I'll have your butt. Like, it's that first, like, sort of, he's not willing to play by the rules anymore. And it's so interesting.
Why would he?
Well, and you think about 71 and you think about this idea of, well, what we need is somebody who he's not like laced down by all this like bureaucratic nonsense. He's just going to go out and get the bad guy.
Just get it done.
Just get it done. And it's funny because, like, I think for people like us, where this movie came out before either one of us were born, and you kind of grow up with this like ubiquitous idea of this badass, right? Whether that be Dirty Harry, whether that be Charles Bronson, right? Just this character who's like, he doesn't play by the rules, but he gets it done. And it's funny to go back and do some research about this movie and be like, oh, even during this period of time, like, this role was not first offered to Eastwood because he wasn't, not that he wasn't anybody, but like, they were going to guys, like Robert Mitchum, John Wayne. Apparently it was originally offered to Frank Sinatra, right? And so many of these guys...
I could see like a Gene Hackman too, or something like
Steve
that.
McQueen, right? Paul Newman, even at one point. And all of these guys turned it down because they were like, this is kind of a right-wing fascist, like, wet dream. and it's so funny for me to see those interviews now from that era and being like, oh, it's only through, I don't know, the last 10, 15 years that I've been like, oh, I can see how that's this other thing. And I never thought that when I was a kid, but like, obviously, media literacy is a really important thing to be aware of.
Sure.
And to realize this stuff. And it's like, I guess I never really thought of it as being that, like, sort of, yeah, the cops can't get it done, so you got to break the law in order to get this thing done. And you're like, kind of a problematic approach, but I guess, like,
I get it. But for a movie, it's extremely interesting, and goddamn, is he cool as fuck.
Sure.
I mean, he was cool as fuck as the Man with No Name, and went on to play versions of that character moving forward. But this one, like, he fucking, I mean, this scene's like maybe 10 minutes into the movie. Yeah. And it's a short scene, but he just comes outside chomping his
hot dog,
chomping his food, just mowing guys down. Amazing. We'll get there in a second. But I did want to get into a little kind of context of this scene before we get into it. So this is in San Francisco. So he's San Francisco Police Department. And he's an investigator. Opening scene is like this girl getting sniped from a rooftop in a pool. In her pool, yeah. Which is, it's really cool looking. He finds where the bad guy was, and he left a note. His name's Scorpio, and basically is going to say, it says he's going to kill a person a day. To get until he gets $100,000 or something along those lines. Now, this is
a take on.
It's got to be the
it's the Zodiac
killer. It's a take on it. It's San Francisco. Yeah. Like, come on.
I mean, in Fincher's Zodiac, they even go to this movie. Really? And they're talking, and we see it in the background, which again is sort of like an even funnier thing because Mark Ruffalo's character in Zodiac is the whole time bound by this idea of like circumstantial evidence is not going to be enough for us to catch this guy. And within this movie that he's sitting in, that's a fictionalized version of the real world events that he's had to deal with, Dirty Harry's there playing by none of the rules and just like feel lucky punk and like shooting people in the street with no sense of decorum whatsoever. And you just go, yeah, it's got to be doubly frustrating if you're the cop being like, well, I can't do this is a movie, dude. I can't do that. Like,
it's true. And the decorum, I wouldn't say there's no sense of decorum, but like he's so cool and good enough that this is what's going to happen.
I'm playing the wet blanket here, but you're absolutely right.
Of course. Now, we talk about Scorpio and all of that, and that's the main plot of the movie. This scene has nothing to do with
this
that.
This is just for us to know
that guy. Yeah.
What a badass that Dirty Harry is.
Absolutely. But yeah, this scene has nothing to do with that guy. There's just a robbery happening. But again, to his coolness, Harry's just pulls up to his normal burger joint or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And immediately clocks everything that's going on. And we don't really even see it. We just think this is how he walks and gets out of his car and stuff. But there's 15 other things happening inside his brain, and he's just clocking everything. So I love that. He's as soon as he sits down at the bar, he asks the cook who they are, hey, what's the usual
buddies.
lunch or dinner?
Yeah.
He's like, is there a difference? And so he's there. He's obviously a regular at this place or whatever. And he asks about the tan Ford behind him. And then instantly, you as an audience member, the whole background starts to, I mean, the way they frame it up too, the whole background is just sitting there with, you're like looking at every angle, like what's going on. Oh, there's a tan Ford, all this stuff kind of lets you focus on that. And he essentially tells the cook to, hey, call the police and let them know 211's in progress. And make sure you tell them it's in progress when it technically is, but nothing's,
there's no other thing other than the car has been idling there this whole time, but he is our hero.
The pile of cigarettes next to the car.
Exactly. All these little details. And I would say that like, it's important for us as the audience that early in the movie to understand that he is this righteous badass who is right. Like, yeah, it'd be different if all of a sudden they were like, oh no, look, it was just a guy was waiting for his mom and she's taking a long time getting out of the bank. Right. He needed to be right. But then also that he says, I'll just hang back and wait for the cavalry to arrive. So he could take care of the problem, but it's his lunch break. Right. And so he's
not on my lunch break.
Yeah, not on his lunch break. But when he hears the shotgun blast, he's like, God damn it. All right.
Then an alarm goes off.
Yeah. And so he gets one more good bite of his hot dog and he sets it down and he just walks out there in broad daylight. People everywhere, and just pulls out his 44, just right, and you're like, Jesus, like, oh, okay, like, is that okay? Like, and you do realize that we're in an era before whatever your Venn diagram of like Dragnet, where everything's by the book, and then police procedurals of a movie like Heat, right, and you're like, okay, somewhere in the 70s they were like, this is boring, and we don't want to go as fucking nuts as like Lethal Weapon, where it's like the guy comes out of the bank but has like a rocket launcher or something, right? We're like, what's the in between there? And you're like, well, there is this like gritty, not realism, but much closer to realism of a Dirty Harry thing, where the guy does have a shotgun, and he says halt. The single cop standing in the street, and manages to take everybody down.
Yeah, well, like there's. The one guy the guy with the shotgun gets taken down. Boom. He's shot and down. Yeah. Still has a shotgun by him. And then the other guy jumps into the back of the car that's been waiting. They peel off and he somehow flips that over with 2 bullets.
Yeah, man.
and
it hits the ever ubiquitous fruit cart that's in every
God damn those fruit carts
70s cop movie.
Always in the way.
It drives like 3 inches. It hits a fire hydrant and a fruit cart and tips over. He's killed both of those guys.
No, because one of them crawls out.
That's right. That's right. So one of them, so somebody crawls out, but otherwise, like, he goes back over to the first guy, and like, it's a great scene, but there is like the little voice in the back of my brain that's like, why would you reach for the shotgun? Like, you're laying there bleeding
you're
out.
Done, man.
And there's like 30 people around you, like, but he's still doing his like, what's the Bill Hicks line where he does the thing from Shane where he's like, pick up the gun, pick up the gun, pick up the gun. Now that's Jack Palance, but close enough, right?
Close enough, yes.
And it is kind of like
you
this.
all saw him.
Yeah,
he had a gun.
He had a gun. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, sir. I just go to get gingham for my wife. I don't even know what it is, but she goes through 5-6 bags of the stuff.
Bill Hicks.
I know, absolutely best. But all right. So if you would please indulge us, what is the classic line of this scene?
Well, like you said, he's reaching for that shotgun. He's like, I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? And you got to, and then he kind of goes like, come to think of it, I kind of lost count myself.
In all the excitement.
Yeah,
in all the excitement.
In all the excitement.
You know,
and then he goes, you got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you?
Punk. In my head,
it's a pretty tough fucking line.
It's a pretty tough fucking line. In my head, it's delivered with a lot more vitriol because I think this thing has been memed into outer space, right?
Or
like
mimicked, probably.
Oh my God, so many millions of different ways, and that every time it's way more like, I know what you're thinking, like, right? It's like he's like chomping, and he's not. No, he's doing that kind of like, kind of little, he's playful.
Even when he gets mad, he's cool.
Yeah. It is interesting though. I'm like, oh yeah, he's got a little bit of a grin on his face. Like he's never lost his cool about this, right?
I mean, yeah, this was, I think we forget how fucking cool Clint was during this era. And this is early 70s, like we mentioned. And this is kind of tough as nails time for for coppers,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Especially detectives or whatever. And honestly, the camera reveal when he says that line is fucking choice.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
We're
the POV of the robber, right? And
back.
yeah.
So good. And he's like, I got to know.
Yeah. So stupid. And then he turns back and he dry fires at him.
It is. And now
I'm like, Jesus, dude, what if you hadn't... I mean, granted, the gun's right here. You could probably see. But holy shit, man. Like, yeah, tough. He robbed a bank. Yes, he shot at a cop. Holy shit. You dry fired at the guy's face. Like, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But again, showing you how tough he is and that he cares none about the rules.
It's just, I guess I keep belaboring that point because it's funny to me because like if you would have fast forwarded to a movie like Narc, if we would have seen a character do that in Narc, it would be a symbol of not that he's a badass, but like he's going to be the bad guy. He does not. You know what I mean? It's just funny.
It evolved into that character being
not a cool guy, like not the hero of the movie.
Yeah, Denzel in Training Day.
Right? Yeah, you're like, oh, he's a bad person
for sure. So originally, during that scene, in the first part of the script, they actually had him put the gun on himself and do it. But Clint Eastwood came in and said, that's not what Dirty Harry would do. Because that would make him a psychopath, right? Like that would make him
I like that more.
Do you?
Kinda.
But anyways, but they basically said that, he would point at the robber, not his own temple. But
you know what?
Interesting twist, though.
And you know who that is? That's Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon would have done that. He would have put it to his own head, right?
Yeah.
So that's it is that different
version of Dirty Harry.
Okay.
So I think they thought, especially for that time, it was too extreme for that particular character because it was more about him being cool and getting shit done than it was about him being crazy. Because he's chasing the crazy.
And it is funny too that like Clint, we knew from way back in the spaghetti western days, and obviously became more this way as he got older, that Clint always has been more right wing, has been more conservative in these things. And so while all of those other guys like Paul Newman were like, he's kind of a fascist wet dream character, Clint was like, he's just fed up with the system. He keeps the bureaucracy. He keeps getting his hands.
Torino,
he keeps getting his hands tied up, because of the system.
I still love him. It's going to be a sad day when he's gone.
No, but it's just funny, right? It's funny to think about the difference of just like a person's personal views about those things and how it translates into a movie. Because I think that there is like, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess these are like
archetypes.
Well, these wish fulfillments, especially for people, I think, who felt like that crime was rampant and no one was willing to have the guts to take care of it, right? And like it's just funny. We're in such a different reality than we were, 50 some odd years ago. And to say like, oh, okay, like this makes sense that our nuances changed. I think you still see these kinds of movies today. I'm thinking of the director S. Craig Zahler. He's done several movies. He did Dragged Across Concrete. He did Brawl in Cell Block 99. He did Bone Tomahawk.
And all brutal movies.
Super brutal movies. Yeah. And also like still has this, the cop needs to get the job done. And so we see these cops waterboard people. We see these cops set up people. And like at no point are we ever given a signal of like, that's the bad guy, that same thing. Instead, we're just like, Mel Gibson in this movie has to get some shit done. So this is who he is. And, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that in a film, but it's just interesting the signaling difference depending on the era, right? Because I think that his movies, he is kind of out and out being like, look, I'm not trying to make a political statement. This is just like how ugly this world is, right?
Exactly, yeah.
It's very interesting to me, the coded kind of difference depending on what era you're looking at the movie from, right?
Sure. You're saying this hasn't aged well?
No, not necessarily. I just think that you wouldn't have that be the hero. Like in 71 for this movie, that was the hero scene. And if you did that now, you'd be like, that's not the hero.
I think it would be.
You think so?
That's just me. I think you could still portray it that way and
maybe
and still root for the the good guys. But I get what you're saying though. Totally. Awesome movie, awesome scene. Really kind of started the whole New Hollywood era a little bit. This is early New Hollywood, and by that I mean studios really stopped. They gave into more auteur directors and gave them more creative control and let movies like The Graduate and Cuckoo's Nest and Taxi Driver and all these movies that had these anti-heroes.
Yep.
That you're.
And this one blew up. I mean, there was 4 sequels to this, I think, all the way up to 88.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
there's
movies, but
Magnum
this is the
Force,
best one by far.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is.
All right. And next week we are going to continue our Agnes Varda Festival with Vagabond. Excited to continue to get into her.
Yeah.
And and then we'll have more that one scene. So if you like what you see /hear, please like and subscribe. You can find us in all the spaces and places. That includes Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Letterboxd. You can find us both there. Everything is linked in the description below. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you there.
Bye, you guys.